I want to take a few moments tonight and do a very quick review of my new FNX-9. Now, I was going to wait and do the review of this gun as part of a head-to-head with my Beretta PX4 Storm, but I decided that probably wasn't the fairest way to go about it. It wouldn't be a very true representation of this gun and my opinions of it to be kind of tainting that impression by doing a very subjective, opinionated comparison of this gun with another gun that I may or may not like better. So I thought I would first just do a quick review dealing with just this gun and my impressions of it. Now, I won't get much into performance at the range because I will cover more of that when I do the head-to-head with the Beretta PX4 Storm. Okay, the first thing I'm going to address is the appearance of the gun, how the gun looks. And that is I'm very back and forth on that. Sometimes I look at the gun and I think it's very attractive, and other times I look at it and I think it's like the ugliest gun I've ever owned. But overall, I think the gun is, pretty decent. It's one of those guns you're either really going to like or you're not going to like at all. So appearance-wise, I can't really rate it, but I think it's, I don't mind it. I kind of like it. It's a little busy. It's a little cut up. You can see lots of cut marks, lots of shape to it. I mean, if you like a gun with a distinctive shape, this gun has a distinctive shape, has a distinctive look. I mean, it doesn't look like any other guns that I know of in this category. Looks very distinctive, and it's not a bad-looking gun at all. It's definitely not the ugliest gun I've ever seen, but not the prettiest gun I've ever seen either, but it does have a certain charm. So looks-wise, I give this gun a 6 or a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Not the prettiest gun ever, but still, you could do a lot worse. Next, I will discuss features. Now, as far as features go, this gun is jam-packed. Ambidextrous magazine release, ambidextrous slide release, ambidextrous safety and decocker. Very SIG-like, easy-to-use takedown lever here. You don't have to be fiddling with the little prongs, the little Glock type things. Sight rail, or actually accessory rail, I guess I should say. Interchangeable back straps with multiple back straps of different textures and different sizes. And 3-dot sights. This does not have night sights. For the reason I bought this gun for, night sights will not be necessary, but I don't even know if night sights were available on this gun. I'm sure they are. I know you can get them aftermarket, but I've never seen one in the store with night sights. And double action, single action. You can carry it cocked and locked, and then take the safety off, use it. You can carry it decocked with no safety on, or safety off with a long double action pull. So as far as features go, for your money, you're getting more features, I think, than you get on most any other gun. You don't get this many features on a Glock for about the same money, and you'd have to pay more money to get the same features on something like a SIG or something else similar. So even maybe a little cheaper for this than the Beretta, maybe even. But I think they're about the same price. So as far as features go, just really feature packed. Now we'll discuss build quality. Now, build quality on this gun is kind of a mixed bag. In some ways, there are a lot of things I don't like. I don't like the fact that the decocker is plastic, but it seems to work very well. I don't like the in my opinion, lower end Glock style slide releases, but it works really well. It's low profile. So there's things I don't like about it. I don't like the fact that the backstrap wiggles a little bit. It is the easiest to change backstrap I've ever had. You just poke that little hole and boom, slides right off. You slide another one right in, snaps right in place. But because of the way it's designed, it does wiggle a little bit. Not a big issue, but it does bother me a little bit. So overall, when you look at the gun, everything is made pretty well. I mean, you go through it, the insides are very clean, very well made. The barrel's well made. It does seem a little thin, but I'm not used to 9mm, so that just might be me that thinks it feels a little thin. So as you can see it there, it just looks a little thin. But overall, the gun feels good, looks good, seems well made, but it never seems like it's the best of anything. It just seems like it's really good at most things, but not great at anything. But when you're really buying a gun of this level and this price, I guess being really good at most things is about the best you can hope for. Now, one thing I really will give it props on is that it's one of the rare guns these days in this price range that when you look through it, you don't see the guts. I personally am not a fan of when you hold a gun up to the light, you see through it, you see the spring, you see everything. That just to me always says it just looks like something might get in there and foul up the works. So I like the fact that it seems like more of a closed system, you might say. So overall build quality is that it's really good, but it's not really going to blow you away on anything, but it does have some really good features that I like. Okay, this will be a very quick one here because we're just going to discuss the ergonomics. This gun is very comfortable. It has a nice, good, everything seems like it's spaced well. Everything's the right distance from each other. It feels like your finger has to reach just the right amount of space to the trigger. And that's helped a lot in part by the fact that it has the adjustable back straps and it comes with multiple sizes, multiple textures. Now, the texture on the grip is a little aggressive. So if you don't like an aggressive grip texture, you may not like the way it feels in your hand. You might have to wear a glove. But to me, feels pretty good, handles pretty well. So the ergonomics on the gun, I'd have to give it a very positive mark on that because it just feels like a really good gun when you hold on to it. Okay, as far as performance goes, like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into performance right now, but it does very well. Everyone, when they see a review like this, they want to see some range time, so here you go. Here's a little bit of footage of the FN FNX-9 at the range. Okay, there you go. As you can see, it functioned flawlessly. The gun seems to shoot where you point it. It's comfortable to hang on to. Shoots fairly easily, being a 9mm. Cycled everything I put through it. Didn't have a single issue. So I can't really say anything negative about the way it performs. I mean, it, like I said, points where you shoot it. Works every time. What more can you hope for in a gun? So as far as performance wise, I'm going to have to give it top notch because how much better can you be than being 100% reliable and being accurate. So my final impression of the gun is that it is not the greatest gun in the world, but it is a good gun. If you're looking at a gun in this price range, and this gun runs, $5 bills, $5.50, you could do a lot worse. I mean, you're getting a lot of features and you're getting reliability and performance for that money. If you're wanting a gun in that price range that isn't just your standard old black block or your typical Smith & Wesson M&P, your typical Glock, this would be a great option for you to look at. This would be one of the two really, really good options in that price range that I would say, take a look at a gun like this one. If you want a medium-sized gun, this is a little bigger than a compact to me. It's not quite a full size, but it's a big compact. So it's not competing with like the small M&Ps or the new M&P Shield or the Glock 26s or 33s. It's more competing with like the 19s, and the larger M&Ps, the Beretta PX4 Storm, guns in that size. And when you take it for what it is and you look at the features it has and what it costs and how it performs, if you want a gun that's not, like I said, you're just your standard black brick, has a little bit of style, a little bit different, has a lot of features, you could really do a whole lot worse than this gun.